ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
I am so excited to be here for this special Roundtables talk because if you know anything about me, the two loves of my life are literally television and music. And I grew up staying up too late, staying up till 11:35 here in New Jersey to hear the opening of the Tonight Show. And our guest here has been such a vital part of that legacy, continues to make amazing. He's not just a TV personality, co-host of a game show. He's the real deal. You want to talk about a musician? Kevin Eubanks is here. Kevin Eubanks, welcome to the Roundtable.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad you're a fan of TV.
I am such a fan of television, and I'm such a fan of someone who's able to do the recording music, the jazz, blues, whatever you categorize your music as, and also do a little bit. You do everything, Kevin.
I'm just following the flow. Sometimes I just love different types of music, and it all feels it's like this big river of music, and there's so much beautiful music going on, so many things happening, and some of the things that are happening on television, some of the streaming movies and things, really, really nice to choose from.
Absolutely. Well, a little bit about you that I've done a little bit of research. Are you a Philly guy? You're a Philly boy?
Absolutely. That means from the 76ers, the Flyers, the Eagles, the Philly, all the way. And being out here in LA, when the Dodgers play the Phillies, rough games, man.
I hear. Well, listen, we won't have to talk sports because as a North Jersey, not a South Jersey guy, as a North Jersey guy.
Okay.
We won't talk Phillies and Yankees and Giants and Eagles, and we'll just let it be.
Good move.
Let it be. But you come from a musical family. Philly has some of the most magical musical history. Detroit, Philly, city, Memphis, cities like that. They're music cities. What was it like as a kid? When was the first time you were like, this is something that I feel is in my spirit?
Since day one, because my mother and her side of the family, all musicians. My mother's musician since before, since she was 11. She was music directors for churches all over Philadelphia, and she taught music for 35 years in public school. She taught piano lessons at the house. So from day one, I'd go to church, gospel music. The music felt so great. I still love gospel music, and so there was no real choice.
It shows you.
So it all works. It's just something you do every day when you hear it like that. So it just becomes part of you.
When did you pick up the guitar and realize that was kind of your calling?
When I was 12. I started with violin when I was 7. And I stopped violin at 14. So it overlapped with guitar at 12. And now one of my regrets was that I wish I could have tried. I don't know if I had the energy or the focus to do both, but violin music, I still love violin. And I was playing in district orchestras in Philly and stuff like that. And I started playing guitar, but there was so much neighborhood bands all over Philadelphia, and it just swept me away. I mean, we were doing all proms and weddings and dances and all that stuff, but it just was so much fun, and the violin started fading a little bit. So the guitar took over. But playing violin before that really helped my feelings for guitar, because the string instrument and the whole, it overlapped. So it was just more and more music.
I tried to play violin, and my violin teacher when I was younger said, you got to do it while you're young because your hand you can't be all tight.
You do. You got to get to that, and you get your chin rest and everything. And a while just to get the intonation starting to be, it's like, okay, everybody in the room, put your ears until I can get the intonation together. But to this day, I love classical music, and I love violin and viola, cello. So when I really need to get my technique up, and so I go back to, Paganini, things like that. So you get some violin music and you start learning it, and that get you back into the swing of things.
Absolutely. And then you made a decision at some point, Kevin, to leave Philly and like you take this music game seriously. How was the choice to say, "Hey, I'm of a certain age. I'm ready to take the next take the next step"? And how scary was that?
It was at the time it was a big deal because we played in the neighborhood band, and it was like, I don't know, should I go to college? Should I go to Boston and go to Berkeley College of Music, or should I stay in Philly? No, not when I think back to that. That's how heavy we were into the neighborhood bands and stuff. And later on, I go, what was I thinking? Of course, I got to go go to Boston and go to Berkeley, learn a whole ton of stuff, and then I moved to New York because that's the real deal. So went to New York, and then after there a while, I came out to LA. So it just happened one after the next thing, and it was great. You meet musicians from all over the world, you learn all kinds of things, and you're in New York, so you're into it now. There's no turning back.
And how did your trip to LA, I'm sure you've told it 8 billion times, how did television come knocking to your door, and what was the choice? Was it an automatic yes? Was it something you had to think about? How did that all go about?
Well, it was I was touring a whole lot. This was in late 80s, early 90, 91, 92. But I was in Europe a lot of the times, Canadian tours, the States, all over different places, India, lots of places, Pakistan, Kuwait, Jordan. It was great. It was, things were really getting into it, and I was seeing all these different countries, and I was getting burned out because I was traveling so much. And I got a call and said, would you like to be a guitar player in a Tonight Show band? And I said, I'm so curious. It's like beyond the Wizard of Oz curtain. Say, what goes on? Because I grew up watching the Tonight Show too. So wow. And I never thought about being on it. So I said, yeah, I can do that. Maybe I would do 3 or 5 years there, and then I'd go back into go back on the road. And then while I was there, after a couple of years, I said, "Oh, what do you think about being the music director here?" And I said, okay. And then it just, because Jay and I just felt real comfortable with each other, and we talked about it a lot. And he says, no, you'll be fine. We'll just, so the two of us together, as soon as we started doing it, we just had fun. And he said, "Hey, you're the music director. Do what you think is needed. The whole thing, whether you want to change the music, if you want to know it this way, that way, just do your thing." And that's what he did. He said, "Leave him alone. Let him do." And it just became so much fun, and it just turned into this and this and that and the other. And to this day, we still have a lot of fun working together.
Well, you guys have such a great repertoire together. You were always such a good wingman to his jokes, and your cues are so fast growing up on the shows for you to play, and the sound effects that you add. And then the great thing about the Tonight Show is you get to see so many musical artists accompany so many musical artists. Like, it's literally a Rolodex of who's who, and you've played and worked with everyone.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a great job to be there, but even not even looking at it as a job, it was just an experience to do so many things, to travel with so many people, whether from Dolly Parton to B.B. King, to so many different people. It says, "Oh, well, we want the Tonight Show band, we want your band to play with us," and it just got more and more and more. So we did a lot of the country music bands, and they said, "Oh, well, we want that band to do it." And B.B. King is in there, Buddy Guy, all these different people, Willie Nelson, and hanging out with us whenever he would come to the show. And so I started going to all these different shows. And so I got to hang with all of these people and start talking about music. And it was great. Before I knew it, It was 15 years. It was 18 years. So the whole idea about, oh, I'll stay there for about 3 years, so back on the road. No, didn't.
No, that's it. What's yours is yours. And I could turn on the TV any afternoon and I could still see you there. And now not only are you just a band leader and a musician, you're a game show host, Kevin.
I'm getting there, man.
You're getting there.
I want to bring the guitar. He says, "Do you need the guitar? We need a co-host. We need a co-host, you know." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, what do I do?" He says, "The same thing you do at the Tonight Show without the guitar. Just keep doing that." And then they just gave me more and more stuff to do. And I said, "No, it's turning into really, you know, you and Jay just work well together. Go ahead and do your thing." So now I was a little bit nervous about that. Not, you know, everywhere I go was the guitar since I was a kid.
Sure.
So, and then all of a sudden I'm going, I said, well, I feel like something's, you know. So after a while I got into it and I started, you know, I even called some friends of mine back in Philadelphia and said, "Man, you think I should do this? I'm not even going to be playing guitar." I mean, these people that I grew up with since 13 years old, and we all played in the bands together. They said, "No, Kev, go do it, man. This is different. It's another step. It's, you know, go ahead. You know." And I said, okay. So I got some confidence from some friends of mine in Philly. And I just went into it, and it just feels better and better and more comfortable.
Well, congratulations. It's its second season. It's You Bet Your Life. It's on, you know, all around the country. Look for your local listings and you can hang out and you can see. It's really fun. It's really fun because it's like a talk show meets a game show with really fun contestants and jokes, and it's a good time.
Yeah, the contestants are so much fun. And after a while, now since we're into the second season, everybody's kind of seen it more and more. So they feel more comfortable now. So they come out and so we're just having a blast. And it's just more and more fun, Hollywood style. I mean, it just goes away and said, okay, let's do it. And still I get to go out and tour and play with wonderful musicians. So I'm really thankful for the whole trip that music takes you everywhere. I mean, would I've even gotten to Hollywood or Tonight Show if it wasn't for music? Everything is music. I mean, as you know, music, a carpet ride to so many different adventures.
It is literally the thing that I think is the most universal thing in the world. We all have feelings about, we all have different types and tastes, but music is how we it's a memory. It is a magic. It is a feeling. It is literally a language that we all as corny as that is, it's true. It's like the bloodline of who I am as an artist. And then everything else branches off of that. And I'm sure it's very similar.
Yeah. I love the idea of going to different countries. Unfortunately, I don't know the languages to the different countries, but you communicate.
Right.
And start playing with the musicians there, and you start recording with them, and you go to schools, you do master classes, or you ask them to teach you something about what's going on. And so all of it just keeps moving and moving and moving. But the core of it is the passion that, you know, you and I both have for music, and it just takes us to the next thing and to the next thing and to the next thing. So it's a wonderful way to just live.
Yes, agreed.
You know what I mean?
Well, and music is what you do. So tell me about this last project. Orrin Evans and yourself have a project out, and it's called the Eubanks Evans Experience. And there's some what is the theme behind this? How can we hear this? And what is all of this, please?
It's because Orrin and I are both from Philadelphia. His mother and my mother played music together. His mother was a vocalist. My mom was a vocalist and a pianist. And I didn't know that. There's all these years that I knew Orrin, and I didn't know that until we started putting some bios together because of the record that we did. And he said, you know, when my mom and your mom played together, I said, whoa, wait a minute. Really? He said, you didn't know that? I said, no, man. So it made everything more and more togetherness and all that. So we just went in the studio and said, let's just kind of do whatever it is that we feel. And it just got more and more. And a lot of people said, well, should we do festivals? It's just duos, just guitar and piano, until they heard us. And it had lots of energy and lots of that. And they said, "Oh, we didn't expect that. Oh, we want to change it. We want that group to play more festival things, not just club things." And we just got more and more into different things. And Oren himself, he does a lot of things with his band. And and just another thing that you get, more and more involved in. And he said, it just doesn't stop. So, so now, don't laugh at this one. We're thinking about doing another record, and we're looking at each other. Okay, which one of us is going to sing? Is it going to be? He's nodding your head, so that's giving us some confidence.
Yes.
And I've always, even when I was growing up in my mom's church and everything, I was just always too shy to sing. And people say, "Oh, you have a really nice voice, and your falsetto is really strong, and it's high, and all that." But I just got to get over that hump. And it's ridiculous, right? All the things you do throughout your whole career, and somebody says, "Oh, sing something. You have such a,
That's scary.
own." And as soon as I start singing, I just go, "Ah."
No, come on, Kevin. I want to hear the falsetto. I want to hear the record. Let's go. You have pitch corrector. Don't be scared.
I call you first and say, "Okay, you got to hear this first. You got to listen to this."
Done. No, look, I cannot vocal coach you. You're the I want to hear it. I wish I had some people, when I see people who have a strong falsetto, I'm like Ethel Merman. I'm just gonna belt my face off. When you have that beautiful, smooth falsetto, that's what we want. We want to have a date. We want to cook dinner. We want to have a moment. We want to hear you on guitar. We want to hear him on piano. And we want to hear that smooth, beautiful falsetto voice. Kevin, come on.
No, I just have to get confidence and really get into it. And I love vocal music. I just like music. I just like music. So I'm thinking about it. For the next record we're talking about, we're both trying to get each other into it, and just another thing to get into. And if it feels good, if it's real, we're not forcing it. It's just some more of the the things that we love about music, and you just let it out. So because a lot of times it's just the feeling that comes out of people. Whether it's not exactly on pitch, if it's not exactly the tone of it isn't, so we know so many, great vocalists. And then after a while, it's just the feeling that comes through everything, whether it's instrumental, whether it's vocals or all of that, you just have to let it open and let it go. So if people can feel it is that you have inside, the passion that you have, whether you let it out on a guitar, whether you let it out vocalizing, it touches people or it doesn't.
I think that's, you can't sum it up better than that. If you haven't heard the album, and you haven't heard the music, look for it. And if Kevin is anywhere in your neighborhood and on the road or wherever, make sure you check him out. And you have to make sure to watch him every single day on your local listings with You Bet Your Life. And I know, Kevin, like, you're just getting started. There's a lot more music and work and television and projects and concerts and everything. Singing.
Thanks for putting that in there. I'm going to remember that.
I'm manifesting it for you, Kevin. I'm putting it out in the universe.
Okay. So maybe the next time I come back, then you'll say, "Okay, before you start talking, you got to sing something for us.
You got to give me a
little taste of it. Next time around."
I'm ready for a full baby face falsetto moment. If you want to find more information about everything, you could go to kevinubanks.com, and you can find all the information about you and all the your discography of music and everything you've done is so impressive. You are the ultimate musician and a class act, and it was a real honor to be able to spend time with you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me too, and thank you for what you're doing musically and journalistically. All that, we need that too. We need all of that. It's not just us company, but all of that. We're all in the same. We're all in the same world. of letting things open and just keep going and going and going. And, you know, so when I see other people doing their things, you know, being passionate about what they want, it just gives me more and more energy about it. And I just go, no, I'm not going to sit back, you know, because I start hearing things that get up, learn it again, do it again, you know. So it just keeps going.
You know, that's so real and so deep that you said that, because I literally, full disclosure, this morning I had like a full, you know, like when you're an artist, it's like a tortured life. You're like, I will never work again. Nothing will ever happen. My life. Why don't I have a better agent? Why don't I have a better? And
Why don't I have a better agent?
Right. Where are? And then literally, you take a moment and you say like, okay, this journey is amazing. It's a magic. It's sometimes we're doing things we've dreamed about doing as a kid, and you have to remember that it's not all this, and
That's right.
It's this.
It's all 360. All, you know, you know, rainy days, you know, sunny days. Then after a while, well, I love the way the rain sounds. It feels good. It feels like there's some kind of blanket over me when I hear the rain, and then other things come up. So it's all being a part of the movement, the musical movement, the passionate movement of everything. And we have an outlet for it. We're so lucky. We're so blessed with all of that.
That's the truth. You're the best. Thank you so much. I'll be following and watching and looking forward to all that's to come.
Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime. I'm ready for you to sing next time. That's the date.
Okay.
Well, how amazing is he? Literally someone we've all grown up with. We've watched him sit next to Jay for years, and now he's a musician, and he has amazing work coming out. So stay tuned. Go to kevineubanks.com. What a joy. I can't even, you can't even to put into words how blessed I feel I am to be able to do this, and how grateful I am for all of your love and support. If you have a guest suggestion, make sure you comment below, like, comment, subscribe, and share what we're doing here. If you want more information about me and my crazy, go to robertbannon.com. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you. We're live every single Thursday night, and we have a roundtable talk every week. So join me. We're going to talk to artists. We talk about artists, about art, and it's always a good old grand time. Till next time, the best is yet to come. Be well.